peoples. Oh shit! Something interesting I just noticed. My people, the show kicks off in 4 minutes. We got to talk about all this. Salute to everybody tuning in, y'all. My peoples, my peoples. Welcome to another episode of Boxing for Breakfast, where you get your healthy dosage of sweet science early in the morning. Y'all know what it is, man. We talking boxing. What a great Saturday. What a great weekend of boxing, y'all. Whoa. Lots to talk about. But first of all, let me say good morning to everybody tuning in on Box Center 2.0. Good morning to everybody tuning in on Box Center with Jay Smith. Appreciate the love. We enjoy some great boxing, but let me say shout out to Cy, John Parham, Next Level Car Reviews, I Do Stuff, Mr. KO, my peoples, and everybody tuning in on Box Center 2.0. Salute, fellas. Listen, a crazy weekend of boxing, and there's a bunch of fights to talk about, a bunch of situations that took place. And I'm gonna tell you what, I normally kick this thing off, and I'm focusing on fights in a sequence, the way they took place. There is so much to talk about, my peoples. Whoa, where do we even start? You know what? I'm gonna be honest with y'all. The first fight that we got to watch yesterday, the earliest one, was Josh Kelly versus Bakram Mortasaliev. Side, one Brooklyn champ got dethroned. One guy went down in Teofimo Lopez. Another one went up in ShuShu Carrington. We're going to kick this thing off with Bakram Mortasaliev and Josh Kelly. Interesting fight. Now, I got to say this. I want to start off by first saying, you guys probably recall that I did say Josh Kelly was a skilled fighter, a guy who can use that footwork, and who can also win exchanges, who has the skills to do that. And I think we all saw that in this play yesterday. Josh Kelly fought a good fight. I think he I don't want to say he was running too much. I know that's how fans want to label it. But I think that he spent too much time where he wasn't engaging. Too much time where Mortasaliev was the aggressor, was the one applying the pressure. And he, there was rounds where he didn't really do anything in the round. And then with like 10, 15 seconds to go, pop, 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 a quick flurry. And that's it. That was winning them the rounds. It's like he was still in the rounds with a little flurry here and there. Okay. I think we all expected the cards to be close, right? I think that it was a close fight. Me, myself, I saw Bakram Mortasaliev winning that fight. I felt he won. And I'm okay. I'm okay with the results. I'm not knocking. It was a close fight. When a fight is close, it can go either way. But I got to say, the commentary from the UK team was absolutely horrible. Horrible commentating. If you watch that fight, you know what I'm talking about. I was flabbergasted, bewildered, and perturbed all at once. Because I'm like, damn. These people, every time Bakram does something, pam, 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 they stay quiet. They don't say nothing. And when Josh Kelly lands, oh, Josh Kelly landed a shot. They were not calling the fight. They were calling what Josh Kelly was doing. So I think the bias from that crew was beyond obvious. There was bias. They all wanted Josh Kelly to win this fight, and that's how they were presenting the fight. Another thing that caught my eyes, and you can see the replay, so you know that I'm not capping. When rounds would end, and they're in between rounds, they would only show the replay of Kelly landing punches. They did that repeatedly. I was like, what the hell's going on out here? We got some Josh Kelly cheerleaders in the building. They telling you what he's doing in the ring. They're showing you what he's doing in the ring, and they're completely ignoring everything Bakram is doing. They just focus on trying to portray Kelly as the winner. And then another thing that I noticed, the referee was on Josh Kelly's side. Why do I say that? Look at the knockdown. When he got knocked down, he got hurt. He got wobbled. It was a big shot. The referee gave him all the time in the world to survive the rest of the round. He got knocked down with like 2 minutes to go. And I don't know if you recall, but when the referee separated him, he kind of, let a few seconds go before he let him get back in action. But then after they went back at it, the referee did it again. Bakram was in his corner, even go, like, what the fuck? You could see that the referee was protecting the fighter. You can't convince me otherwise. We could go watch the tape and I'll show you. I might even make a video about it so I could show you specifically what I'm talking about. So you got the commentators on Josh Kelly's side. You got the referee on Josh Kelly's side. You got the producers on Josh Kelly's side. They're only playing what he's doing, not playing anything Bakram is doing. It's like, huh? What's going on over here? How exactly is it that Bakram is basically fighting everybody? He's fighting the whole production team. Backrun is facing the commentators, the referee, Josh Kelly, the crowd. Everybody in that building was pushing for Josh Kelly to win that fight. Y'all made me feel like the fix was in. Because let me tell you something. The judges are sitting right there ringside, right? And all they hear is the commentator, oh, Josh Kelly did this. Oh, Josh Kelly did that. Oh, Josh Kelly. Like, what the fuck? What's happening over here? I got the sense that their main focus was making Josh Kelly look good. That's what they was focused on. Making Josh Kelly appear like he's the guy winning this fight. And ultimately, they gave it to him. So, it was a great fight. I'm not knocking Josh Kelly. Much respect for him. Much respect to him. Because ultimately, he did what he had to do to walk out of there with the W. They gave him the dub. And it was a good fight. We're not going to act like he got beat up, he got washed or anything. It was a good fight. He landed some real good shots. But Backrun Murtasaliev is the guy that pressed the action, threw more punches, landed more punches. I don't know. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. You know, I like some of the things that Josh Kelly was doing. Both of them, you know, put it all out on the line. So it was a good fight. And the cards, all three of them were close. One of them was a draw, and then another one, 113, 115, and right around there. So the cards were close. Good finish. But the commentary was just wicked. Wicked. I can't remember when's the last time that I saw a fight where the hometown commentators were only focused on their guy. Only focused on saying what their guy did, what their guy was doing. Terry Lance, Backrun didn't do enough. You can't just chase without landing. I don't agree with JPK style, but he did what he did. Now, listen, if that's your take, I respect it because I say the fight was close enough to where it could have gone either way. But I got to say this, Terry Lance. Backrun threw and landed more punches. He landed more jabs and he landed more power punches. Not only that, I want you to take this into consideration. They stole a knockdown from him. We could go back to the video. The second time, not in the same round, because in the same round when Kelly went down, they stepped on their feet. Backrun stepped on his toes and he fell. So that wasn't a knockdown. But towards the end, that shit was 100% a knockdown. It was a punch and he went down. And they called it a slip. Why you call it a slip? Even in the first knockdown, after the first knockdown when he was really definitely hurt, 2 whole minutes to go in the round, yo, the referee killed like 30 seconds playing games. Hold on, wait. Oh, what you doing, bro? Let him fight. So the commentators was with Josh Kelly. The referee was with Josh Kelly. The goddamn producers was with Josh Kelly. Did you notice in between rounds, the replay that they kept giving us? Even the rounds that Murtasaliev won, that Murtasaliev landed more punches, when the round finished, they would show a replay with Josh Kelly landing a couple of shots. Bam, bam. They're like, oh, Josh Kelly's getting back in the rhythm. Look, bam, bam. Why you only keep showing the replay? And this, bro, the bias was so out of hand, so out of order, that it wasn't in just one round. I want you to please either remember or check it out. Round after round after round, they kept playing Josh Kelly replays. Replays where it was Josh Kelly landing a shot. Replay where it was Josh Kelly landing a combination. And I also got to point something out too. How many rounds was Kelly moving, Backrun coming forward, landing some shots, and then at the end of the round, Kelly would go, pop, 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 pop. The round is over, he got the round. Huh? How the hell you get a round where the whole round you didn't do anything? And at the end, you did a little flurry and you got the round? That shit was crazy. That shit was crazy. And I am going to be, going berserk throughout this week on the UK commentators. You don't... Oh, it was in England. The England commentators. Bro, that's not it. That's not it. They didn't do their job. When you call it a fight, you're supposed to call what's happening inside the ring. you're supposed to call the action. They didn't do that, bro. They was calling Josh Kelly. They was calling what Josh Kelly was doing and completely ignoring what Bakram Murtaza was doing. What about what he did do? What about all them jabs to the body? What about all them body punches? You never hear nothing about it. Even the big shots up top, you never heard nothing. They was crickets. So if you're just listening to the commentators and not watching the fight, you think Bakram is getting washed out there? He absolutely getting washed because you don't hear the commentators saying nothing about what Bakram is doing. Kelly's doing this, Kelly's doing that. Oh, he's getting back in rhythm again. What the fuck? D Young. I thought Kelly won, but I do think it was home cooking because Bakram did drop him twice in the ninth. But he only got credit for one knockdown. The second knockdown, he didn't get credit. The referee, get up. Nah, nothing to see here. That was crazy, bro. That was crazy. To me, this is my personal perspective. Them people was bound. They was focused on getting that W for their guy. Everybody's focus was, we're going to paint this thing like Josh Kelly baiting them up no matter what happens inside that ring. And that's what they did. He walked out of there with the W. But I got to say, salute to Josh Kelly. He did what he had to do, and the judges saw his way. In a close fight, it can go either way. But golly, bro. Golly, you don't call a fight like that. That was disgusting work. Disgusting, my peoples. We're going to move on to a fight that was just special. It was special to witness ShuShu Carrington win in the fashion that he did it. Whoa, what a fight. From the very beginning, we saw ShuShu Carrington facing an opponent that was game, that was there to fight. Double AD, yeah, but the commentary don't judge the fight. I don't think it affected the decision. You know what it does? It creates a combo if it went the other way. Nah, Double AD, the commentary can affect the fight. It can affect the judging, and I'm going to explain to you why. My brother. Remember, it's human beings judging the fight. It's people just like me and you that's judging the fight. So, when you're sitting right there, judging it, and all you're hearing in the background, oh, Josh Kelly did this, oh, Josh Kelly did that, oh, Josh Kelly. Guess what? That can influence how you score them cards. You're watching, but you're also listening. You also have an understanding that everybody in here is on the side of this guy. You have a very good understanding that the crowd is on the side of Kelly, the commentators are on the side of Kelly, and the producers are on the side of Kelly. So believe it or not, my brother, and I've seen this, when everybody here is on the side of this guy, that can affect the judging without a shred of doubt. I personally have seen that. I've seen fighters get their ass whooped, and because of everything, the atmosphere, they get the W. I've seen it, my G. Trust me. I'm not capping. I've seen it in person. I've seen it in the amateurs, and I've seen it in the pros. It happens. It happens, family. I'm telling you. But let's talk about ShuShu Carrington and Oscar. What's ShuShu Carrington's opponent name? Hold on. I don't want to disrespect him. I don't want to disrespect ShuShu. Carlos. Man, I can't remember his last name. Hold on. ShuShu. My people, y'all remember ShuShu Carrington's opponent name? Hold on, because I don't want to disrespect him. I don't want to say the wrong name or mispronounce it or shit like that, man. I don't like to do that. Gotta respect the fighters, my peoples, right? Gotta show them respect. Carlos Castro. My people, ShuShu Carrington versus Carlos Castro was a heck of a fight, man. Salute, family. Salute to everybody tuning in on Box Center with Jay Smith. Salute to everybody on Box Center 2.0. Bam. Listen, Carlos Castro was there to fight. He was there to win. You love to see an opponent like that, tough opponent. And he was very, very consistent with that right hand to the dome piece of ShuShu Carrington. Caught him with some hard shots. He would go like that. Go in with the jab and then throw that looping right hand. Boom! And he kept catching ShuShu. At some point, he wobbled him. Hurt him. And you know he got ShuShu off his game. Because when he hurt him, ShuShu just stayed in the corner. And even told him, come on, come on. Pam, 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 pam. He was getting hit a lot. He lost that round. That was round number 4. ShuShu lost round number 4. And he took a lot of punishment in the process. That round number 4 had people wondering, yo, is ShuShu going to be able to win this fight? Round number 4 is when we realized Castro was a problem. That's when we saw, oh, wait a minute. It's not an easy fight. This dude not out here to get washed. But ShuShu Carrington did something that elite level fighters do. John Wayne, salute my brother. Bam! ShuShu Carrington did something that you see from fighters who are the creme de la creme. And I'll explain. You see how badly he got hurt in round number 4, got wobbled and everything? Round number 5, he took that round off. Round number 5, he used it to get himself together. Allowed Carlos Castro to go forward, to throw his combinations, and he was slipping, moving, using that lateral movement. Took that round 5 to recover, because he know that in round number 4 he got hurt. In round number 4, he know what happened. Good fighters, they don't have that wherewithal. They'll come out, try to fight, boom, get knocked out in the next round. Elite fighters understand and have that understanding that, wait a minute, let me get my shit together so I can go back to work and doing what I need to do. And that's what ShuShu did. Took round number 5 off and then came back in round number 6 and started now landing his combinations. Started timing Carlos Castro. Started catching him with some good counter shots. Started turning the tide in his favor. But Carlos Castro, with that stiff jab, with those body shots, he kept going left, right to the body, and that looping right hand to the dome piece. Bam! He was in it. He was trying to inflict bodily harm. And as they were getting to the later rounds, we were like, yo, we don't know who's going to win this fight. Nobody's really dominating. ShuShu wasn't able to dominate this guy. But ultimately, what a combination to end this showdown. ShuShu Carrington landed some monster shots, a 4-5 hit combination to Carlos Castro that dropped him and won him the fight in dramatic fashion. You know, it was so competitive, you don't know who's going to win this fight. And then ShuShu goes, bam, 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 bam. Whoa, to the face piece, to the snack box, to the dome piece. When Carlos Castro went down, I knew he wasn't getting up. I told you guys, you know I was going to fight live. Oh, the devastating blow. Carlos Castro not getting up, ladies and gentlemen. I knew it. He wasn't going to get up. Brutal shots from ShuShu Carrington. Irvin back, salute my brother. Appreciate everybody who already hit the like button. Come on, my peoples. 2026, and this is a cooking show. You got to hit that like button today. You won't be able to help it. ShuShu Carrington showed us that he's a special fighter. Shu York with the New York Yankee trunks did it in New York. He was crying after the fight. The emotions was pouring out. Why? Because he really was involved in the toughest fight of his career. A guy in Carlos. Shit, man, I keep for. and Carlos Castro. A guy named Carlos Castro who had a record of 30 wins and 3 losses. Very experienced fighter, tough fighter. And like I told y'all, man, before the fight, I heard a lot of people say, yo, Carlos Castro nice. He gonna give him a problem. Some people was predicting an upset. Some people was predicting an upset. And you see how it played out. ShuShu Carrington with the special victory. Salute to ShuShu Carrington. Beat a Carlos Castro, a very tough opponent. And I'm going to tell you guys what. With that loss, and I've said this before, sometimes a fighter loses and their stock rises. Carlos Castro, his stock went up. He's going to get more opportunities now. He's going to get more big fights. He's going to get title shots because of that performance. So yes, he got knocked out by the better fighter, but he showed us that he's a skilled fighter. And he's going to give people hell. He's going to give it to him. And by the way, ShuShu Carrington is the first fighter to stop Carlos Castro. A guy who's been in the ring 33 times and got 30 W's. ShuShu Carrington. Come on now. Got to show love and respect. Give him his flowers. Bam. World champion. Did it in New York City. So while Teofimo been saying that he the king of New York, we have to revisit that conversation. Who really the king of New York? Because ShuShu really from Brooklyn. He didn't move from somewhere else and is claiming Brooklyn. ShuShu is from there, my peoples. Did it. Much respect to ShuShu Carrington. We got to talk about, let's segue into Keyshawn Davis and Jermaine Ortiz. Come on, my people. Come on, the businessman in the 140 division making his debut. Whoa. Whoa, my peoples. Number one, I'm going to remind you that Keyshawn Davis said, I'm going to knock him out. Tio couldn't stop him. Loma couldn't stop him. I'm going to stop him. Skip a clipper. King of New York is Berlanga. Well, the King of New York was Hamza Shiraz after what he did to Edgar Berlanga. He hit Edgar Berlanga with these joints. Beat the shit out of him. But ShuShu Carrington, man, he's the guy right now. Keyshawn Davis told us that he was going to beat up Jermaine Ortiz. Did you see how strong and big Keyshawn Davis looked at 140? Ripped. Keyshawn Davis, and I try to tell this to people, in the 140 division, he looks stronger than ever, faster than ever. You saw the composure. Obviously, we know about the skills. But, man, you see what Keyshawn Davis did in that fight? Whoa. Whoa, my peoples. For 12 rounds, John Pound keeps stamina crazy, too. Come on now. 12 rounds. 12 rounds of putting hands on Jermaine Ortiz. The lunatic librarian in the house. Better late than never. Salute, my brother. Now we just kicking this thing off. We got a lot of boxing to go around, my people. Salute to everybody tuning in on Box Center with Jay Smith. Salute to those tuning in on Box Center 2.0 behind the scenes. Fellas, we got some serious boxing yesterday. Don't worry. You're not late, my brother. We got a lot to talk about. But Keyshawn Davis showed that he is a special fighter. A lot of people doubted him. A lot of people were questioning his mental game. Where is he at mentally? People even questioned whether or not he was going to be able to make weight. And that was crazy, you know. He had that situation in the 135 division. He's fighting in a higher division. And for those of you who don't know, like a month ago, Keyshawn was only 3 pounds over. Like a month ago, he was weighing like 143. That says a lot. Usually, a month ago, Fighters be 15 pounds over, even 20 pounds over with a month to go. Keyshawn was like 3 pounds overweight, over the limit a month ago. He probably made weight like a week before the fight, or even earlier. And you saw how he looked ripped. So, congratulations to Keyshawn Davis for not only getting in shape and showing up on fight night in what it looked like the greatest shape of his career, but for performing the way that he did. He wanted to get that stoppage badly. And it's hard to stop a guy like Jermaine Ortiz because obviously you see the movement, you see the lateral movement. Then you could tell that he went on survival mode. He just trying to survive. In the 9th round, Keyshawn almost stopped him. Bell saved him. And then that's it. In the 11th round. But round number 12, Jermaine went out there to survive. Like, okay, I'm going to just make it the distance. And Keyshawn kept digging in, catching him with shots, still going to the body super hard, and ultimately stopped him with a shot to the body. When he dropped him, it was a shot to the body, followed him around, stopped him with a nasty shot to the body with like 11 seconds to go into the round. Boom! Jermaine had to take a knee. So I'm going to say this. My peoples. I respect Jermaine Ortiz, my Dominican brother from Dominican Republic. But I said it before the fight, and I think we saw it again. Jermaine Ortiz shows up to these big fights, and it's almost like he's trying to be competitive, but not actually trying to win it. And I'm not saying that he's not trying to win. I'm saying that he's not at the level of these guys. So he's good enough to compete, good enough to have some moments, but he hasn't been good enough to beat them. I saw that with Shakur Stevenson. Nah, he's Dominican, my brother. I saw that with Shakur Stevenson. I saw that with Teofimo Lopez. I also saw it with Lomachenko. Jermaine Ortiz did good enough to compete. He didn't do good enough to win. Especially in the championship rounds, he was out there trying not to get knocked out, trying to look good in his movements, but he wasn't trying to take it from him. In this fight, it looks like he felt Keyshawn's power early, and that's it. He was just, trying to be in it. But did you ever see Jermaine Ortiz look like he's trying to take it from Keyshawn? Nah, it didn't look like it. It just didn't look like it, my peoples. So congratulations to Keyshawn Davis. Becomes the first fighter to stop Jermaine Ortiz. Got the knot. Yo, it's tough to stop somebody in round number 12. Especially a boxer who's not going to stand in there with you, not going to trade with you, not going to engage like that. It's tough to get a stoppage against a guy like that. And that's exactly what Keyshawn Davis did. Whoa, what a fight. Congratulations to the businessman. Did what he had to do to get the stoppage like he told us he was going to. Keyshawn told us. He told us he was going to stop him. He did that. Salute to Keyshawn Davis, my people. You got to show that man his respect. Everybody who been hating, everybody who been saying that he not the same, that, I understand. It was a debacle. It was. You missing weight, losing your title, leaving the division in that fashion. I get it. I get why he's going to be criticized. Yeah, people could criticize. But look at the performance that he put together. Look at the work to the body, the lunatic librarian, that nasty hook to the body, bro. Keyshawn Davis showed that he's a special fighter. Showed out yesterday. Salute to the businessman, my peoples. But now it's time for us to get to the main event. Shakur Stevenson versus Teofimo Lopez. Whoa. I got a little bit cold right now just thinking about what we witnessed. Yo, where's the people who said Shakur was going to be running all night? Where's the people who spent the last couple of weeks telling me that Shakur was going to be running all night, that Teofimo was going to have to be chasing him all night? I try to tell him, yo, Shakur going to lump him up. Nah, Shakur ain't lumping up anybody. Oh, Shakur not lumping up anybody now. You believe Shakur ain't lumping up nobody, huh? Well, my peoples, did y'all see Teofimo's face after the fight? Did y'all see his face? All types of lumped up. And I said this before, and I'll repeat it again. Shakur Stevenson went into this fight with the mindset that he wants to be #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world. He wants to be the face of boxing. And he's going to go out there to show out. That was the plan. That was the mindset going into this fight. Why people didn't want to accept it? Because they don't like him. They don't like Shakur Stevenson. And no matter what he does, you got to understand, it's kind of like Terrence Crawford. Think about Terrence Crawford and how people always want to hate on him and how they just don't want to give him his credit. Think about that. Shakur Stevenson is the same thing. And it's almost like by default. That's what we get, right? Shakur Stevenson is a hated fighter. You know, he gets all the hate no matter what he does, no matter what he accomplished. Now, I want to show you guys something real quick, which is interesting, right? Somebody said, this fight, it was all right. Somebody labeled it a nice pillow fight. God damn. That's a heck of... What the hell did Shakur have in them pillows, bro? Did Shakur have ball bearings in them pillows? Because if that was a pillow fight, golly, what type of pillows he was hitting Teofimo with? Danny on the ground, you was right, Jay. Again, salute my brother, appreciate it. Marie, that's not lucky, bro. That's talent. Teo didn't have any answers. The lunatic librarian. Shakur could have stopped Teo if he would have pressed 30% more. Jay said, "That's good morning. Salute, my brother." MAW, Shakur IQ, cat-like reflexes, and superb timing showed levels. Levels. John Parham, I agree. G. Hollywood, Shakur should have knocked him out. So that's it, you don't like the win because he didn't knock him out. Look at his face. That looked like Teo was involved in a pillow fight. Left eye swollen, big ass cut. He was leaking. Right eye also swollen. Forehead lumped up. All type of lumps. What the hell did Shakur have in his pillow, bro? Ball bearings and dumbbells? Come on, my peoples. Come on, my peoples. Shakur, and let's keep it 100, gave Teofimo Lopez the beating of a lifetime. Teofimo never got his ass whooped the way he got beat up yesterday. CER, salute everyone. Hit the like button. Appreciate it, family. Come on, fellas. This is a cooking show on Sunday morning. Hit that like button, my peoples. No doubt. The lunatic librarian told you Shakur was going to cut him. He got him. Nasty cut, too. Had him leaking. John Pound, let's not be biased, folks. Teo got schooled. Yo, he got schooled. And by the way, I told you guys yesterday, and I'm repeating it right now for you. I gotta repeat this for y'all. Teofimo Lopez needs to fire his dad ASAP. Did you see the instructions from Teofimo Pops? You gotta hit him more. You hit him. You gotta... You don't really see instructions from him, my people. You don't see yo, slip the jab and go to the body. Step back when he comes forward and counter punch. Go under. Go. And I'm going to show you something interesting about that fight. Did you guys notice when they got to like round number 8, Shakur started landing some good shots to the... Teofimo did start landing some good shots to the body. Bam, bam, bam. And he did pretty good with those body shots. After like round number 8, round number 9, he started being consistent with the body shots. And I said this before. Why when you getting beat up, you're waiting till the end of the fight to try to make adjustments? What he was doing between round number 8 and round number 10, that's what he should have been doing from the beginning. Should have been doing that. Irvin, Mac, Shakur being able to double up on Tio was the breaking point. Man. Now, I gotta say, my peoples, this fight is where Shakur Stevenson showed that he's the guy. He's the guy. Of course, you're going to see two type of boxing fans that didn't like Shakur. You're going to see the boxing fans that are going to say, yo, that's it, he's the guy. Fuck it, he's him. And then you're going to see the boxing fans that they just can't bring themselves to acknowledge that Shakur is that guy. They just can't bring themselves. They still going to find a way to try to hate on him. MAW, Shakur dominated. Front foot position too. Same way Bud did to Canelo. Shakur did to Tio. Make them have to step over and be off balance in that open stance. Side, 40 people in the chat. Less than 40 likes. Come on, my peoples. Come on. 2026? We still ghost watching? Stop playing with me. The we. Yeah, he knew the guy, but Tio was overrated. Damn, Tio was overrated. Tio's one of the most accomplished fighters right now. He's not overrated. Tio definitely not overrated. That just means you don't like Shakur. So instead of giving flowers to Shakur, you prefer to hate on Tio. And we see that all the time. Every time a great fighter that people don't like wins, the other guy's always overrated. How exactly Tio Fimo going to be overrated when he's one of the most accomplished young fighters of this generation? Multi-division champion, unified champion, linear champion, ring champion, and he overrated? Based on why he's overrated, bro. Far from overrated. Instead of saying he's overrated, just say that Shakur is him, bro. Just accept that fact. Frontline, 13 people here ear hustling. No, there's also people who jump up in here so that they can learn from Jay Smith and take their little argument to their little bullshit-ass YouTube channel. They just stay quiet. Now I'm going to bring this shit to my channel and act like it's me saying this shit. Gabe, salute, my brother. Bam. The lunatic librarian, Shakur, has been the truth. He been that guy. But you know, there's a lot of people that just never wanted to accept it. A lot of people just don't refuse. Because it's like Floyd Mayweather. You guys know, with Floyd, there was always a crowd of people. No, Floyd is not that good. He just cheating. He pity-patting. He don't got no power. He putting us to sleep. He don't. And then Floyd retired as the most famous fighter of all time, the most millionaire, the most rich fighter of all time. How does that happen? How does that even happen? You're boring. Nobody want to watch your fights. All you do is run. Yeah, you widely considered the greatest of all time. And if you look, and I always say this, and I want you guys to think about it. If you look at all the type of criticism that Floyd Mayweather got, that's exactly what Shakur gets. Now watch this. What was his last fight? It was versus William Zepeda. And how he fights Zepeda? Beat the shit out of him inside of a phone booth. So why y'all talking that he gonna run? You saw him in his last fight doing what he did. Why are you talking that he gonna run? Because you forgot what he did to Jamel Herring. Beat the shit out of him and stopped him at point blank range. The same Jamel Herring who dished Lamont Roach his only L. Shakur beat the shit out of him. Oh, but you didn't see that. Shakur beat the shit out of Oscar Valdez when Valdez was an undefeated champion. You didn't see that. Or you only remember, your brain only recalls Shakur versus De Los Santos when you refuse to acknowledge that Shakur was hurt. Cool. Cool. You only going to remember Shakur versus De Los Santos for his whole career. Just like you only remember Terrence Buck Crawford versus Gamboa. He knocked out Gamboa, but all people remember, Gamboa wobbled him. Imagine what Errol's going to do to him. How did that work out for Errol Spence? Gamboa wobbled him. Imagine what Canelo's going to do to him. How did that play out for Canelo? So you see, the haters, they will hold on. They held on to that Gamboa fight for over 10 years. That didn't help nobody. They never learned that it wasn't going to help nobody. The same thing with Shakur Stevenson. They only going to remember the De Los Santos fight for his whole career. He out there whooping ass. No, but De Los Santos. There you have it. Shakur Stevenson showed yesterday he's the truth. The we, 1 round to 11. And that ain't overrated. It's not overrated. Shakur's a great fighter. That's what happens. That's what happens. A great fighter can do that to another great fighter. I don't know what to tell you. I know you don't like Shakur Stevenson. I know you got to find the angle that you could hate. But ultimately, there's a reason why Teofimo is a multi-division champion, a Ring Magazine champion, a lineal champion. It's definitely not because he's overrated. It's because he's a great fighter. Side, I don't want Shakur to move back down. He can go undisputed at 140. Let's see, because you saw Conor Benn step in the ring, and him and Conor Benn go back and forth. I know Shakur want to fight Conor Benn. But just remember, right now, Shakur's already a 4-division champion. Wow. Wow, how can anybody even hate on that, y'all? MAW, past midnight here and working, man. Gotta work tomorrow. Subscribe, share, smash that like button. Later, gang. Salute, MAW. See you tomorrow. G Hollywood, hit the like button. I appreciate that, family. 2026, we not ghost watching, my peoples. Irvin Mack, my brother. Lunatic Librarian, Pretty Boy Floyd put hands on fighters at 130. And he did it his whole career. He, he wasn't a knockout artist. He wasn't knocking everybody out. But his whole career, all Floyd did was win. All he did was win. All he did was beat a bunch of champions. But if you want to hate on Floyd, you're going to find a way. You're going to find a way. The Lunatic Librarian, Herring just dominated his BKFC debut. I mean, whenever you see professional boxers go to BKFC, they're going to inflict damage. They're going to have success. But to me, that's not good for fighters to do that. You know why? Because Jamel Herring had a long career, has had a long career as a professional boxer, right? He's taken a lot of punches to the head. So I think when you already had a long career as a boxer, you will have success in bare knuckle because of your skills with the hands. But, taking those punches after you had that career in boxing, it could be bad for you. You could end up punch drunk. You could win fights, but still end up fucked up in the head. Skip a clipper. We need Tank versus Shakur by end of this year, man. I would love to see that fight, brother. I've been calling out for Tank and Shakur, been wanting that fight. But it looks like Shakur already gave up on that. He knows, if Tank don't want to fight me, I can't keep pushing for this fight. I can't keep calling for that fight. I'm going to just keep building my star power. I'll keep going up, and I'll keep showing the world that I'm him. And that's what he's doing. Yesterday, with that win, with that dominating win over Teofimo Lopez, Shakur stock skyrocketed. Which, by the way, they sold out. They got the biggest sellout in that venue. Remember that. Biggest sellout in the venue. Shakur Stevenson, Teofimo Lopez. Oh, nobody watches him. Nobody likes him. There you go. This, right now, you guys got to witness Shakur's moment to go like this. Bang! Popularity. Bang! Yesterday's price is not today's price. You're going to see Shakur Stevenson start rubbing shoulders with the fighters that's making the most money. You're going to start seeing Shakur Stevenson rubbing shoulders with the fighters who's getting the most views, who the most people's watching. There you have it. The Lunatic Librarian. None of them Errol Spence fanboys never mentioned that Terrence stopped everybody at 147. They don't want to mention it. Of course they don't want to mention it. They never wanted to give Terrence Crawford his credit. Brascarell graded from the main streets of North Omaha, Nebraska. Terrence Crawford stomping grounds. Sammy Chiba, how you feel about Shakur versus Ben? I like that fight. I think Shakur cooks him too. Conor Benn gets cooked. Cooked. Irvin Mack, facts. T.O. is good. Yo, come on. Look at the resume. Look at the track record. Look at the opponents. Teofimo been about that smoke. Took a L yesterday. But I'm not a social media boxing fan. I'm not a casual fan. I know what Teofimo has accomplished. I know what he's been able to do. And I tell you what, Teofimo Lopez is going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. When it's all said and done, he's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. That's number one. Number two, guess what? Teofimo Lopez is going to become a world champion again. He's not going to beat Shakur Stevenson, but other champions, he's going to be able to win. You're going to see him become a world champion again. And then what happened with the people that say, nah, he overrated. Just because they don't want to give credit to Shakur. They're going to see him become a world champion again. Hakeem Bennett's low-hanging fruit for Shakur, yes. Yes. He getting cooked. Shakur told him to his face, you food. You is food. Braskarov, well, between Bakram and Teo, I don't know ish about boxing. Side, how many other 4-division champs are active in boxing right now? It isn't just Shakur and Inoue. I'm not sure, bro. I'm not sure who else is a 4-division champion right now. I think it may just be them two. Wait. No, I think Bam is a 3-division, right? I don't know, man. But 4-division champ, I'm going to just point out one thing. Shakur is 1 division away from tying Floyd Mayweather. Floyd is a 5-division champion. And by the way, Floyd is a 5-division champion, but the title he won at 154, that was at a catch weight. That was at a catch weight. Shakur Stevenson is a legitimate 4-division champion. So eventually, when he go to 147, it's not going to be a catch weight. He's going to be a 5-division champion by fighting in 5 divisions. Floyd didn't win his title at 154. I think it was the catch weight was 152 or something like that where he won that title. Shakur Stevenson is going to catch up to Floyd Mayweather. He's going to win titles in as many divisions. I've been trying to tell everybody, Shakur Stevenson is our generation of Floyd Mayweather. And he don't even want to be the next Floyd. He want to be the first Shakur. Let that sizzle in your spirit. There's already kids out there. The way they was like trying to be like Floyd, there's kids out there trying to be like Shakur. He the guy. He's the guy. Butterbean, the king of boxing. Shakur Stevenson. He gunning to become the face of boxing, the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world. And he's showing us. Ramon, Newark, New Jersey, in 30 minutes, it's 30 minutes away. I know it will have sold out. They sold out. New Jersey was in full effect. Butterbean Tank maybe needed this motivation. Maybe. And I tell you what, Tank is dealing with a legal situation, with legal issues. But he not, for this situation, Tank ain't going to go to jail and spend mad time in jail. If he does go to jail, he might fuck around, spend 6 months or something like that, less than a year. And he only 30 years old, so Tank is going to be able to come back. Double AD, we here, both lives at the same time. Let's go, champ. Salute, my brother. Bam. Salute to everybody tuning in on Box Center 2.0. Salute to everybody tuning in on Box Center with Jay Smith. Y'all already know, man. It's all for the love of the sweet science, fellas. Daniel on the ground. Shakur even said, easy work. Easy work. Tyler, our generation. In this generation, we got Shakur Stevenson. That's it. I think it's time for the disrespect of Shakur Stevenson to finally stop. Stop with the disrespect, man. Give the guy his flowers. You done beat Teofimo Lopez, one of the best, and you don't want to acknowledge that? WQG, I told you Shakur was going to smoke him. Hollywood, Shakur Masterclass. The Happy Golf, I'm not sure Tank wants to come back unless they drop a huge bag. Listen, I'm going to be honest. At 30 years old, it's hard to walk away from the sport. You could take a break and be out for a little while, But once them competitive juices start flowing and you start seeing these fighters on TV, you know he watched the fights, and you start feeling like, damn, I could beat this nigga. Trust me, Tank Davis is going to want back in. Because this what everybody don't see, and I'm telling you, that's the way that it really goes down. A fighter like Tank, who's 30 years old, can't just sit on the sidelines watching these fights. You're used to being center stage. You're used to this thousands and thousands of people focusing on you and what you do. You're used to getting these spectacular knockouts. It's not easy, bro, to just sit it out. Yeah, if they don't give me this, I'm out. Nah, bro. I believe, Tank is a fighter. He a true fighter, a fighter of heart. He's not going to be able to stay out of boxing, bro. Trust me. He's going to want to go in and show what he got. Prove what he got. Because remember, Tank is one of those guys who can potentially be gunning for that face of boxing spot. There's people who had already been considering him the face of boxing for the last few years. So yes, he dealing with that legal situation. And for now, he's out of boxing. But that's just a little break. At any given moment, Tank could be like, yeah, I'm fighting. Mind yours, I knew he was going to cook him. I just thought the ref was going to stop it. Hakeem, Tank is too lethal. Shakur is gifted, but limited to his game plan. I'm going to tell you right now, bro. If they fight, Shakur's going to get the W. Shakur's going to get the W. Remember I told you that. Whoa, the happy golf with the super chat vibes. Salute, my brother. Really appreciate that. Been watching for 20 plus minutes. Great content. I'm digging this. I appreciate you, my brother. And I always say this to everybody. I don't do this for the money. I do this for the love of the sweet science. When you hop in the super chat, you're saying that you appreciate what I do, man. And I appreciate you for that. You guys prove to everybody that I'm doing what I'm meant to be doing. I'm supposed to be here with you guys. And here I am. I'm going to give you everything I got. But it's like I said, my peoples, the disrespect of Shakur Stevenson, I hope it finally stops. I hope that people understand that we're watching a generational talent. We're watching the best, the highest level of boxing, the highest level of boxing IQ. We're witnessing it with Shakur Stevenson, y'all. It's time to stop with the hate. Time to stop with the he's going to run narrative. I can't even believe it. After Shakur did what he did to William Cepeda, people were still saying that he was going to run. That he was going to run in this fight. And that it was going to be a boring fight. Y'all got to stop with the disrespect, my people. That's it. When do we say, yeah, he's the guy? He's the guy. Teofimo Lopez thought that this fight was going to play out in a football field. And from round number one, Shakur said, nah, bro, step in the bathroom with me. Come over here. Step in the bathroom. We're going to handle business right here. And absolutely put on a masterclass. What the hell's going to be? Devin Haney became Debo Dev. What are we going to call Shakur after this? Shakur Picasso Stevenson? What are we going to name him? Sammy Chivas, Shakur would make Tank keep his hands in his pockets. Trail Bruce, there's a reason Tank don't want to fight this man. He knows there's a chance he'll get embarrassed in the same fashion. It could be. Because I've never really seen Tank express that interest in wanting to fight Shakur. But I will say, we know Tank ain't scared of nobody. He don't know what's fear. Tank from the trenches. But you not being scared of Shakur doesn't mean that you don't want to take a L. So you're like, fuck it, I'm not going to fight. This motherfucker's not going to stand there and just bang it out with me. He's going to box me. I'm not trying to have that. Daniel LeGrand, that's fact. I really was surprised how easily Shakur won. Side, they went in the phone booth and stood in there. Remember how Crawford beat the crap out of Canelo? Look at it right there. Double AD. How do him and Keyshawn Davis avoid each other long term? It's easy, brother. They've already made the conscious decision that their friendship, their relationship costs more than money. That's it. That's it. Their relationship is important to them. And here's the way I tell you that I know they're going to be able to not fight each other if they don't want to. Shakur Stevenson got paid $10 million for this fight, right? Him and Tio made $10 million a pop. And Shakur Stevenson price went up. After that masterclass, the price went up. So Shakur Stevenson is going to be able to make millions of dollars without having to fight his brother. And Keyshawn Davis, being the first guy to stop Jermaine Ortiz, also put on a masterclass, his price went up. These two guys, they're going to be making millions of dollars. They don't need each other. They're both wealthy, and they're both going to continue to make a lot of money. So, people asking them to fight each other, they could do that as much as they want. They could ask them all they want to fight each other. They don't have to. They still both got big fights out there that they can make. Remember we was talking about mythical numbers? Oh, fighters be asking for $10 million. They know they're not going to get it. Yeah, Shakur's going to get it. And the price is up after yesterday. That was $10 million yesterday. Yesterday's price is not today's price. That goes for Keyshawn Davis. That goes for Shakur Stevenson. That goes for ShuShu Carrington. The price is up. It's up, my peoples. The boxing advisor. I like the name Shakur Picasso Stevenson. He out there painting masterpieces. Charles Bruce, he said his biggest fear is losing. And Core the one that'll make that fear come true. You see? Tank Davis not afraid of no man. But he don't want to take a L. He don't want to take a L. Hakeem, that doesn't make sense. Crawford had to fight Porter to claim 147. Side, where is Shakur pound for pound? Oof. Hakeem, I don't co-sign this shit. Pay the cost to be the boss. There you have it. So, previously, Shakur Stevenson was at the number 6 spot. Or the number 7. Was it 6 or 7? I'm not sure. But he was either 6 or 7. I think it maybe was 6. I say they're going to have to put him in the top 5. Let's see where I think Monday Ring Magazine is going to put up the updated rankings for the pound for pound list. If they put it up on Monday, I'm expecting Shakur to be on the top 5. And I'm saying top 5. Look, I'm going to be honest. Right now, I can't put Shakur at the number 3 spot. Because you have Naoya Inoue, you have Usyk, and you have Bivol. So I don't know if I could put Shakur Stevenson above them 3. But I could put him at spot number 4. And that's for now, because I'm expecting Shakur to go all the way to number 1. He's maybe one big win away or 2 big wins away from claiming that number 1 spot. Simple as that. Shakur Stevenson is him. The people who refuse to accept it, at one point they're going to have to. At one point they're going to have to. And I feel you on that side. He's the only 4-division champion next to the monster. Next to Naoya Inoue. 4-division champion. 1 division away from 1 division away from catching up to Floyd Mayweather. Let that shit sizzle in your spirit, my peoples. Shakur Stevenson is him. I've been trying to tell everybody. Some of you already knew that Shakur is him. Some of you refuse to accept it. But there you have it, my peoples. Come on now. Come on. The stock skyrocketed after that performance. Now, I want to say something. This is a fight that I missed yesterday because we was watching this card. Xander Sayers became a unified world champion yesterday in Puerto Rico. Salute to Xander Sayas. I did predict that he was going to win that fight. He's a special fighter too. I expect Xander Sayas to accomplish a lot of big things. He's one of those guys, already a unified champion, super young. If I'm not mistaken, he's 21 years old. And look, man, he's already accomplishing big time. So salute to Xander Sayas, my peoples. Today, I'm going to watch the replay of that fight. But, listen, Hollywood's shit crazy close to Mayweather record. Look at that joint, brother. A 4-division champion. Floyd retired as a 5-division champion. And something that I want to point out, Floyd was a 5-division champion, but at 154, that title, he got it at a catch weight. At a catch weight. When Shakur Stevenson move up, he's not going to win his title at a catch weight. He's going to win it at the welterweight division. I think that we're probably a few years away from that happening. He's not going up to welterweight anytime soon. He got more to accomplish, more to do. We don't even know if Shakur is going to go back down to 135 because he been wanting to fight more retire, and now more retire as a world champion, or if he moves up to 147 and fight Conor Benn. If he fight Conor Benn at 147, I don't know if he'll go all the way back down to 135. So he'll either stay at the welterweight division or go back down to 140. Side, Xander gonna move up soon if he can't get Fundora. But there's some fights for Xander Sayas to be made. There's some fights for Xander Sayas to make at the welterweight division. But let's see. He's gonna have options. Hakeem Mayweather, true distinguished feat, is the most world champions in 49 fights, in my opinion. Is the most world champions in 49 fights. So here's the thing about that. When we look at the world champions beaten, Floyd Mayweather beat a lot of world champions, right? I know that they also count the former world champions. When they naming the champions that Floyd beat, they count the champions that weren't champions when they fought Floyd, but they had previously been a champion, which to me, that's cap. You gotta be, to me, I count the reigning champion that you beat, the guy that held the title when you beat them. But I don't put as much, when I'm comparing careers, I don't put as much weight into that as I put in the reigning champions that you beat. You know why? Because you can't control who's active or who's around during your career or who's sharing the division with you. Look at Roy Jones Jr. A lot of people don't understand this because, you know, you might be younger and you didn't really follow Roy Jones Jr.'s career like that. But Roy spent a whole chunk of his career where there was nobody to fight. Where he literally fought a guy that was a police officer. Roy Jones Jr. has a bunch of names in his resume of fighters that y'all don't know. But that's because at the time that Roy Jones Jr. fought, there wasn't a lot of people in his division. There wasn't a lot of big names in his division. He fought who was there. Shakur, and let me say this. I like to compare head-to-head matchups. That's what I like to compare. When I look at Floyd Mayweather, I look at his best wins. I don't look at number of champions beaten. I don't look at that. I look at the names and who they were and what they accomplished. For example, when Floyd Mayweather his first title win, which I watched that live on TV, of course, was Genaro Hernandez. Genaro Hernandez was a great champion. He lost to Floyd Mayweather, retired from boxing. Why? Because Floyd Mayweather beat the shit out of him in such fashion that he knew there was no point in even thinking about a rematch. He got dominated, made to look easy. So I see certain champions that Floyd Mayweather beat that I'm like, that win was crazy right there. Every win does not have the same value to it. Does not have the same weight to it. So when you say just a bunch of champions, yeah, but you sneaking in a few people into that you would never compare to some of those other champions. So it's one thing. Like, let me give you an example. If Broner step in the ring now and somebody beat him, they beat a world champion, but are we gonna disregard the fact that Broner's washed? Like when Blair Cobbs beat Broner, dropped him, embarrassed him. Yeah, he beat a world champion, but how much weight are you really gonna put on that win? When Broner been washed up, been out of boxing, been having problems, drug problems, everything type of problems, getting locked up. How big of a win is that really when you beat Broner? But if you just say, yeah, he beat a champion, and you don't say which champion, we're not really getting into details. So I don't put that much weight on the number of champions. I put the weight on which champion you beat, which one was more accomplished, which one was at the top of his game when you beat him. That's the ones that I put the most weight on. Nature Boy. It was still a boring fight. It was a boring fight to you. I enjoyed it. I loved the fight. Nature Boy, if you don't like Shakur Stevenson, everything he does is going to be boring to you. I love the fight. I enjoyed it. Look, you know why it was boring to you, Nature Boy? Because you wanted Teofimo to win. He didn't win. It was boring to you. Side, Nature Boy, nah, it wasn't. Ow, I can't rock with Teo. That racist shit really turned me off. Masterclass Shakur. Yeah, that turned me off too. You know, I know that, to be honest, it kind of put me on the fence. At one point, I even posted a video saying, F Teofimo Lopez, I'm never supporting him ever again because of that racist shit. But I kind of pulled back a little bit on that because I've seen fighters and people who've been around Teofimo who say, man, that nigga not a racist. He just a goofball who'll say anything to get that attention, to get people riled up. And I said it before, don't joke around with racist shit because you're gonna convince some of us that you're a racist. And then it's gonna be hard to take it back. But I've seen people, you know, who actually around them, who been around them, who spend time around them, who say, nah, man, he ain't a racist. He'll say anything to get that attention and to sell the fight. Ricardo, I loved it. I mean, I loved the fight too. But I understand it, bro. If you wanted Teofimo to win, if you've been hating on Shakur Stevenson his whole career, it's not a fun fight to watch, man. You're not having a good time watching him beat up Teofimo Lopez if you was praying for a Teo win. You didn't have a good time yesterday. So I understand you, my boy. Chuck Bruce, when one team is winning a blowout, it's usually boring, of course. Of course. You seen an NBA game when a team is winning 85-50 and the home team, the crowd is already going home? It's boring as hell to them, bro. They not having a good time. So you're not having a good time when Shakur Stevenson putting hands and feet on Teofimo Lopez. Come on, man. Behind your grind. Good morning, my people. Salute, family. Look at this. Earlier, somebody said that it was a good little pillow fight. So when they said it was a good pillow fight, I just had one question. What the fuck is Shakur having his pillow? Did he have dumbbells and ball bearings? God damn, those the hardest pillows I ever seen, bro. Look at my man's face. Left eye swole up, cut, leaking. Right eye swole up. Forehead looking like he got 50 speed bumps. God damn, what the fuck Shakur had in his pillow, bro? Dumbbells and ball bearings. Side. They took the pillow out the pillowcase and put tuna cans in the motherfuckers. Like, yo, what kind of shit is that? And yo, I'm gonna tell you like that. I'm gonna tell you something like this. I'm gonna tell you this. What Teofimo Lopez face remind me of, what his forehead remind me of. You know, I'm 47 years old, my people, right? But back in my days, in my early 20s, I had a short stay in Rikers Island. C76, bam. And while I was in Rikers Island for my visit, I got to see a couple of scuffles. I got involved in a little something here and there. But check this out, my peoples. Anybody who been to Rikers Island will tell you this. In C76, it's like a big dorm. It's not jail cells like you used to seeing, like cells with 2 people. No. It's a big dorm. Try to imagine a gym, a big gym, with a bed and a locker. A bed and a locker. A bed and a locker next to each other. Then another row. Then another row. Try to imagine a gym with a bunch of beds. Full of beds. And every bed got a little locker right next to it. C76 in Rikers Island. That's exactly what that is. And the first action that I got to witness while being a visitor of C76, while I stay there, it's nighttime. Everybody's already laying in their bed. And there's only one light on. At the corner where the CO is at, he got a light that never gets turned off. So it's never really dark inside the cell block. Well, not the cell block, because it's not cells. On the floor, it's never super dark. You can always see. So I'm laying down, and as I'm laying down, I see one dude get up. And then I see another dude get up. And before I know it, it's like 8 motherfuckers. And all 8 of them is going down like this real quiet. And I'm laying in my bed. It's not bunks, it's just one bed, so you laying close to floor level. And I see all these dudes walking. Right away, I grab my toothbrush. I don't know what's about to happen, but I got my toothbrush right there. Nice and sharp. I got my toothbrush like, oh shit, what the fuck going on over here? And it didn't have nothing to do with me. They walked past my bed. I see all of them. And then, nice and quiet, they surround this one bed. My peoples, I never seen a 10-second brutal beatdown in my life until that time. 10 seconds. Yo, by the time the CO turned the light on, yo, these motherfuckers always like... By the time he turned all the lights on, everybody was already laying in their bed. Like nothing ever happened. Yo, what they did and what they do, you see the pillowcase? They fill that shit up with the little balls from the deodorants. The cheap deodorants, they got a hard ball, the one with the roll-on joint. Bro, one of them pillowcases like this to your forehead. 5 knots at the same time. Whoop. Another one. 4 more knots. Whoop. That's what Teofimo forehead remind me of. Like he got hit with the empty pillowcase with 50 deodorant balls in it. All at the same time. No cap, my peoples. Look at his forehead. Look at his forehead. When they cut them lights on, Buddy got up from his bed looking like Teofimo Lopez. Right there. That's what he got. Daniel Negreanu, hell no. Hell yeah, my G. Hell yeah. Jump pound. Tio looked like Martin waiting for Hagler. And then people see this and still try to say Shakur Stevenson got pillow hands. You for real? You believe that? Them pillow hands did this? Yo, them pillow hands was loaded. They was loaded. I don't know if it was deodorant balls. I don't know if it was dumbbells. I don't know if it was ball bearings. But whoa. Whoa, my peoples. Teofimo face looked like he was hit with something nasty. Nasty. And that's why I tell you, my peoples, the disrespect of Shakur Stevenson gotta stop already. It's time to say, yeah, he's the guy, man. He the guy. Ricardo Myers, Shakur was walking down Teo. It was crazy. MS, Teo looked like E.T. after the fight. John Parham, Jay Smith, I've slept on a few hard pillows in my day. The Hydro Grind. He stumbled Teo a couple times too. Made him feel it. Made him feel that power. Daniel on the ground, hell no. I don't want that forehead. G Hollywood, Jay Smith, what do you think about Big Baby wig? Oh, we got to talk about that. Big Baby got his wig pushed back. Got his wig peeled. Got the toupee pushed. Like when I'm calling a fight and I'm like, a shot to the wig piece. A shot to the toupee. Yo, Big Baby gave it a whole different meaning, bro. A whole different meaning. John Parham, bro, left looking like the Goonie. Whoa. Bro, that was a cap peeling. Daniel on the ground, that was crazy, bro. Like, how your shit put all the way back over here. But you know, I'm feeling Big Baby, the way he handled it. He laughed it off. He joked about it. He had a good time with it. So I like the way that he handled it. Plus, he walked out of there with the W. I think it would have been even more embarrassing if he would have lost that fight. He got the win, laughed it off. We're going to be talking about that for a minute, though. You ain't never... When I say somebody got their wig pushed, I never have said it literally. He literally got his wig pushed. This is the first time that I say it, and I mean it in a literal way. Yo, the Hydro Grind, bro, I would love to be here when you narrated the wig going off, man. Listen, got the wig pushed for real. The Hydro Grind. Can you make a replay of that for those of us who missed it? Nah, the fight, I wasn't calling it live. I wasn't actually calling it live when it happened, bro. I'm going to replay that shit and call it for you guys and post a video. How you get your wig pushed? You get your toupee peeled. When people say he got his cap peeled, you're not expecting that it really did get peeled. Like, yo. Nature Boy, Willie Shakur, Wendy, out of there by KO. MS, the headline withstood till the end. yo, the headline stuck around, but golly, toupee got pushed. Daniel on the ground, first time for everything, even in boxing, bro. Before this, I don't think there's ever a fight. You know, I've seen fighters, they cornrows. I seen a fighter get a braid twisted up in a cornrow and shit like that. But the wig pushed, like convertible, you got turned into a convertible? Myth, nah, we ain't never seen that. And the replay, though, the replay's nasty work, yo. When you see the replay, he was like, boy, it was an uppercut, pushed it up. That's what made it funnier. He gave him like an uppercut, pushed the wig up, and then a straight right hand peeled that shit back. John Parham, bro, head was looking like a high school practice field. Damn, bro, straight convertible. Drop top. Side. Had him looking like an open tin can of beans. Oh, man, listen, that shit was just too crazy, man. We never seen nothing like this, but anything can happen in boxing, including getting your wig pushed. I think fighters are going to start thinking about it like, damn, man, should I rock my toupee for this? I don't know. Irvin Mack, it changes. Level. Nature Boy, his barber's fired. I mean, damn, what's up with that glue? They messed up on the glue, fam, wham. You don't do it like that. Something went wrong with that. You're going to have a toupee malfunction during the fight? And the shit is, if we already knew you was bald and that happens, like whatever, your wig got pushed back, But who the fuck? I didn't know. I never seen a bold version of Big Baby. I never seen them both. So, damn, what a wait for you to get exposed, bro. Daniel the Ground look like kitchen sink spunk. Yo, now y'all stop doing Big Baby like this, yo. Don't do it to him like that, my people. We it's gonna be all over the internet, man. It's gonna be the memes. It's gonna be everything. People's gonna be talking about it. But I like the way Big Baby handled it, you know. I like the sportsmanship. He had a good time with it. He was like, yo, this shit gonna get glued back on. So I love the way that he handled it. John Parham, he wasn't getting turkey money. So he went to Shakira of 63rd. Trout Bruce. Tio Senio was in shambles in the corner. You gotta hit him, bro. What happened to your footwork? Oh, man. I told you guys before. Teofimo need to fire his pops. Fire him. Look, I understand that it's tough to fire your own father. We saw Brian Norman Jr. doing it. We saw it. Brian Norman Jr. was like, yo. And you know why I think it was good for Brian Norman Jr. to do what he did and why Tio got to do it too? Look at the way that Oscar Castro lost to ShuShu Carrington. His stock went up. I told you guys, Oscar Castro's stock went up because he gave ShuShu a hell of a fight up until he got knocked out. Stock went up. But if you look at the way Brian Norman Jr. lost to Devin Haney, he got his ass whooped. He wasn't even competitive. He didn't go into that fight prepared to win. He went in there prepared to get his ass whooped. Same thing with Teofimo Lopez. You didn't do shit in that fight to make us think that you was in it, to make us think, Carlos Castro, to make us think that you could win the fight. Carlos Castro, he gave ShuShu Carrington, appreciated Trout Bros, he gave ShuShu Carrington a heck of a fight. Heck of a fight. Stock went up. You can lose a fight and look good still. Superman, John Parham, similar to Noakes. Sam Noakes was spectacular versus Abdullah Mason. Abdullah, you know, rose to the occasion, showed that he's the guy, that he is what we say he is. But Sam Noakes, you know, he got nothing to hang his head about, nothing to be sad about. Put on a heck of a fight. If you look at Teofimo Lopez, he didn't have a moment, one single moment in this fight where you could say, yeah, this guy, he did good versus Shakur. It was close. Ricardo Mayer, Josh Padley. By the way, Josh Padley fought yesterday and became a European world champion. Won with a devastating knockout. Boom, nasty left hook. Boom, then pop, pop, pop. Put all type of hands on his opponent. Stopped him. Josh Padley, a European champion. And he gave Shakur. He gave Shakur a better fight than Teofimo on 2 days' notice. But that's why Eddie Hearn is a smart guy. What he do after that fight? Sign Josh Padley right away. He didn't say, listen, Eddie Hearn is not in the business of lose money. He's not in the business of signing losers. He didn't sign him just because, oh, I feel bad for you. Let me sign you so you don't have to, you could box full time. No, he signed him because he saw the talent that Josh Padley has. And yesterday he won a European world title. Respect to Josh Padley. So again, you could lose in a way that your stock still goes up. Teofimo stocks took a nasty stumble yesterday. He just got outclassed, beat up, and never had a moment in this fight where he even looked remotely like he could win it. So he got to fire his pops and bring in a coach that's going to take him to another level. His pops already took him as far as he can with them horrible-ass instructions. Trail Bruce, ShuShu had me nervous. Not going to lie. Listen, that fight with ShuShu Carrington, Carlos Castro, is it? Carlos Castro? Yeah, Carlos Castro and ShuShu Carrington, That was a heck of a fight. This guy showed up and he was game the whole night. And he hurt ShuShu. He kept landing that overhand, that looping right hand to the dome piece. Kept landing that shot. Boom. Jab, and he would go around there. Bang! Catching ShuShu to the head. He wobbled him in round number 4. He hurt him. Hurt him. But this is the type of fight that you see what ShuShu's made of. Just like Abdullah Mason had to prove it against Sam Noakes. ShuShu had to prove it against Carlos Castro that I am about that life. He did that. John Parham, Tio Pops still cursing him out. Horrible ass instructions. Look, I felt like Teofimo Pops should have got fired right after that Kambosos fight. I don't know if y'all remember, but in the Kambosos fight, the instructions that he was giving Tio, fuck him up. Go fuck him up. Like, god damn, bro, he trying to fuck him up. That's the instructions you giving him? How about slip the jab and go to the body with the left hook? How about step to the right, catch him with the right hand, step back and counter? How about, put the 1, 2, 3 and go under to the body? How about jab to the body to close the gap? How about establish that jab? Make sure that he's thinking about it before going in. Make him pay, make him miss and make him pay. Don't just make him miss and move. Like, how about actually saying, that's what I like about great coaches. They will tell you what they want you to do. And then you see great fighters execute. Go hit them. It's not no fucking instructions, bro. You're at the highest fucking level in the biggest stage. And the instructions is go hit them? The fuck is that? Well, anybody in this, I feel like anybody in this chat right now could step in that corner and give better instructions than his pops was giving him. Anybody in here could do that. Horrible. 5-line whoop. Right, horrible coach. Tio needs to fire him. If you want to level up, you got to fire his ass. Cedar Medina, keep him on as the hype man. He could be a good hype man for the team. And the guy with the shit talking and all of that, that's about it. That's what you could be, the hype man. You ain't no goddamn coach. Y'all been winning and accomplishing off of Teofimo's athleticism and natural skills. You ain't doing shit but holding them back. 5-line whoop. Dads don't always mean best interest. His dad coach with emotions. Never the answer. You can't be. It's not about emotions. In fact, the best coaches, they know when it's time to put in emotion and when it's time to be emotionless. Teofimo dad. And it's like I told you, man, a coach is supposed to tell you how to win. A coach is supposed to tell you this is what you're doing wrong and this is what you have to do. This is how you're going to offset what he's doing. You don't see that from Teofimo's dad in the corner, man. Cedar Medina, Teo need to call up Robert Garcia, Teddy Atlas, or even Bozy. Come on. Get you a real coach that's actually going to give you... Because I'm going to tell you what. If he would have had a great coach in the corner, he still loses. You're going to lose to the better fighter. But he would have lost in a competitive fight. He would have lost in a fight that they could have went back and forth. That he could have won a few rounds. Maybe even hurt Shakur. He lost an ass whooping. You got your ass whooped. Clearly, they didn't prepare you to win that fight. They prepare you to get your ass beat. That's what happened. You went over there to get your ass whooped. No, good. Flag on the play. You fired. Fired Pop Dukes. And we seen a lot of people do it. We seen Oscar De La Hoya fire his pops. We seen Floyd Mayweather fire his own pops. And Floyd Mayweather pops was elite, but they couldn't get along. They didn't have a good relationship. You got to have a good relationship with your coach. Floyd fired him. Brian Norman Jr. more recently fired his pops. That's it. It's time for Teofimo Lopez to accept it. His pop's not going to take him any further than he already has. Okay, you got it. You guys made it to this point. Fire Pop Dukes and get somebody that's going to get you to perform better in these type of fights. You could have lost in a good competitive fight. Instead, you got your ass whooped. Brent 10, rock 'em, sock 'em. Boxing is over. Whoa, boxing is over. We got a dummy in the house. We got to get this dummy out of here. First one on this Sunday. Daniel Negron, Rolly ex-boxing coach, should be hired. I forgot his name, but what's his name? Oh, Bullet. It's Bullet. John Parham. I mean, from what I heard, he's a real good coach. John Parham. Is it Bullet? I think it is, right? John Parham. Crazy how Tio said he wants Bud. I think he's going to rethink that. I think after taking that ass whooping from Shakur Stevenson, he understands, damn, Bud would murder me out there. Bud would just go ham on him. Nature Boy, Tio needs to learn how to clinch and dirty box like Hopkins. I'm not going to say that Hopkins was a dirty boxer. If you do something and they don't catch you doing it, is it dirty? If the referee's back here and I punch you and then I lace your whole face piece with my shit, ugh. If the referee didn't see it, is it dirty? So Hopkins did a little few things here and there. You know, he would lace the shit out of you. Nice little headbutt. But that's boxing. If you didn't see me doing it, it's like I didn't do it. Trell Bruce. Ismael Salas. Or is Rolly still with him? I think Rolly's still with him. And he looked good. He looked good with Salas. That's one thing, man. Salas, you got to respect him. He get you on point. And in his last fight with Ryan Garcia, where we saw a version of Rollies that we had not seen, we saw the best version of Rollies when he fought Ryan Garcia. It was Salas. Salas got him on point and got him to win that fight. Beat Ryan Garcia up. Eye for eye. My guy, what's good? Who we cooking? But Shakur cooked last night. Shakur Stevenson showed out. Showed that he's the guy. He's headed for #1. Tay John, how did Xander Silas look last night? My brother, I know that he walked out of there with the W. I didn't have the opportunity to watch that fight because it was taking place around the same time that Keyshawn Davis was fighting Jermaine Ortiz. But by all accounts, what I've heard is that he looked good. He's now a unified champion. I can't even remember who's the last Puerto Rican unified champion. Before that fight, I told you guys, Xander Silas is going to be the face of Puerto Rican boxing. I think yesterday that happened. I think yesterday he already started making that transition. He's going to be the guy. Xander Silas, my peoples, going to be the face of Puerto Rican boxing. And I was talking to my Puerto Rican brother, Camachito Rivera, and I told him this. I was like, yo, Xander Silas is a special fighter. I expect him to not just win and unify in his division at 154, but he's a fighter who, I'm sorry, at 147, my bad. In the welterweight division, he's a fighter who's ultimately going to end up in the 154 division, win more titles, unify titles. He's a special fighter. He's going to accomplish a lot. He's going to be one of those guys who accomplishes a lot. John Parham, performance of the night goes to Shakur. It was the most dominant performance. Most dominant performance. We saw Keyshawn Davis put hands on Jermaine Ortiz. He would slap him at the end of the fight. But Jermaine Ortiz is no Teofimo Lopez. Shakur Stevenson did that to Teofimo, to a great fighter of this generation. Because that's the one thing I'm going to tell you right now. Just because Shakur washed him, he's at 154. Damn, I'm confused. Oh, shit, yeah. Wait a minute, no. No, he's at 147, bro. Xander Silas at 147. He's at 147. Am I wilding out? Trell Bruce, he's at 154 now. Xander Silas It's a welterweight. Is he a welterweight? I'm wilding. But I digress. I think that, you know, some of these fights, the way that they played out, super exciting to watch. Trell Bruce, he got the WBO when Fundora vacated. 154, yeah, man. I'm off. So, is Xander Sayers going to get that fight with Fundora? That could happen. If he doesn't, somebody mentioned it, and I believe that's true, he might end up going to 154. Yeah, I was off for a little bit right there. Sometimes, you know. Long night of boxing. A little bit of sleep. But I will say, my peoples, Xander Sayers is a special fighter. I was telling that to my brother Camachito Rivera. I said, you know, I believe in him. I see some things that are very similar to what Tito Trinidad does, especially that left hook. That mid-range left hook, he shoots it, the mechanics, it looks just like the way Trinidad used to do it. I expect him to accomplish a lot in the sport of boxing. My peoples, but I gotta say, look at these images from yesterday, and I want you to think about that so you can see what we got to witness. Look at these images from yesterday. We saw Shakur Stevenson put all type of hands on Teofimo Lopez. And look how he left him. For all the people who say that Shakur Stevenson got pillow hands and that he don't got no power, look at this. Come on now. Nature Boy, does it make the Loma fight look less important? Nah, not at all. Not at all, my brother. Every fight is its own. So the Lomachenko fight was important, definitely. But look how Teofimo got left yesterday. Lumped up, literally lumped up. We got ShuShu Carrington. Shu York City. You know, he was involved in a very, very tough fight. Carlos Castro gave him about everything he could handle. Gave him everything he could handle. And there was a point in this fight where you just didn't know what was going to happen. You didn't know who was going to win this fight. You just couldn't see it. So, John, I don't think is that Teo had no... It was about... I don't think it was Teo's power. I think that Shakur was just too slick and never allowed him to get into position to land power shots. So, Teofimo found himself lunging in, and you don't have power. Even pity patting. Just trying to land something. You know, it's tough to land big shots when you're always out of rhythm and out of position to do that. But ShuShu Carrington, my peoples, did you see how that fight played out? There was a moment there where we were like, whoa, what's happening? Carlos Castro landed some big shots, making ShuShu back away, wobbled him in the 4th round. But ultimately, man, ShuShu Carrington showed that he's a special fighter and got the devastating stoppage with the brutal combination. Left, right, left, right, left, right, all in the snack box, all in the mouthpiece. As soon as Carlos dropped, I said he not getting up. When Carlos Castro hit the canvas, if you was there, I was calling the fight live, I said he ain't getting up. No chance. And he got counted out. Down and out. ShuShu Carrington showed us that he got that dog in him. He had to dig deep. Then we had Keyshawn Davis, who said that he was going to be the first to stop Jermaine Ortiz. He said Lomachenko couldn't do it. Teofimo couldn't do it. I'm going to do it. And early on, he landed some harsh shots on Jermaine Ortiz. And then he just started dictating the pace. Jermaine Ortiz looked like he was on survival mode. And then you see how it all played out. Keyshawn drops him with a nasty body shot. Jermaine Ortiz survives the round, makes it to the round number 12. It looked like he's going to go the distance. And with 15 seconds to go, boom, Keyshawn Davis lands a nasty left hook to the body and gets the stoppage. Beautiful stoppage from Keyshawn Davis. Stops an opponent who never been stopped before. An opponent who people said was going to pull off the upset on him. People said Keyshawn is going to get upset by Jermaine Ortiz. And look, Jermaine, I said it before, and I think he proved me right once again. Jermaine Ortiz is a fighter who has shown that he could be competitive with the top dogs, but he hasn't shown that he could beat them. He has not shown that yet. Keyshawn Davis looks super strong, super sharp, super fast in the 140 division. And he got the stoppage like he said he would with like 13 seconds to go in the fight. How much more drama can you have? We saw Keyshawn trying to get the stoppage, pushing for that stoppage. And Jermaine Ortiz surviving. And I got to tell you something, my peoples. When you have a fighter who's going to be using that footwork, who's trying to get away from you, it's hard to stop a guy like that. Really hard. Keyshawn Davis pushed for that stoppage and got it. I do stuff. Damn, I'm late. About to start training while listening to your show. Do your thing, my brother. Do your thing. Eye for eye. Keish took a few hits that was unexpected to me. Keyshawn showed the couple of holes in his game that I feel he needs to tighten up before he go up to bigger names. I didn't see that, my brother. In boxing, you get hit. In boxing, you get hit. I'm not sure what you saw. Keyshawn Davis pitch a shutout. Won every single round and then got the stoppage in round number 12, which show he's in extremely great shape. In boxing, you're going to get hit, bro. It's boxing. If you expected somebody to go in there and not get hit, I guarantee you, if we look, Shakur won 11 rounds on Teofimo. I guarantee you, we're going to find we're going to find a clip where Teofimo catches with a good shot. Every good fighter that you can mention is going to get hit with some good shots. It's boxing. But it's about who hits who more. Who does it more. Because at that level, you're going to get hit. If Jermaine Ortiz was able to land good shots on Lomachenko and on Teofimo, he's going to land good shots on Keyshawn and on anybody who you put in front of him. He might not knock him out. He might not win. But you're going to land some shots, bro. Eye for eye, I understand you going to get hit, Jay, but watch it again. I mean, won every single round, bro. Pitched a shutout. What more can you ask for? But I ask you, have you seen a fight where somebody not get hit with some good shots? Even when you dominate, you're going to get hit with some good shots. We could look at Floyd Mayweather and look at his last 30 fights. And in every single one of those fights, I could find you where he got hit with some good shots. It happens. It's boxing, my brother. You're going to get hit. But he won in dominating fashion over Jermaine Ortiz, over a good fighter. A good fighter is going to hit you, but you're not going to see the consistency. There was no consistency from Jermaine Ortiz. He couldn't get anything going. Benjamin Hernandez in the building. Benjamin, mi amor, te quiero mucho. Mwah. Y dile a Ryan Enzo, I love you, Ryan, I miss you. Ryan, te quiero ver, oíste, pórtate bien. We're going to see each other later. Wow, I love you, Ryan. Tay John, where does Tio go from here? I say Teofimo Lopez, where he goes from here, step number 1, fire your pops. Fire him. Teofimo Pops took him as far as he's going to be able to take him. You out there giving horrible instructions. Horrible instructions. I'm not feeling that. You don't tell your fighter, go beat him up. Go throw more punches. Horrible. So fire your pops, number 1. Number 2, take a little break. Because when you get beat up like that, it takes some time to recover. People don't understand that, you know. Teofimo gonna have headaches. He might be throwing up. He might be sensitive to the light for a week. It's going to be a tough week for Teofimo Lopez due to the punishment that he took. So focus on recovering, fire your pops, get a good coach, an elite level coach, and then from there you guys decide together what you want to do. Decide it as a team. The shit will sell. That's crazy. I didn't think the fight was going to be that one-sided. We saw it, man. Complete domination from Shakur Stevenson. Side, Teddy could be a good fit for Tio. I like Teddy Atlas. I think he could be a good fit. I like Bozy too. I think Bozy could get in there and, number one, help him out with the defense. Number two, help him be more consistent. Give him some real instructions during the fight, man. Like some actual instructions of what you need to do to win. Other than fuck him up, throw more punches. Like what? I don't know, man. Listen. I told you already, Tio should have fired his pops after the Kambosos fiasco. Because he should have beat Kambosos. He's better than Kambosos. But, and I'm going to tell you what happened in that fight. Teofimo went in there thinking that he was going to blast Kambosos out of there in the first 3-4 rounds. So he went in there with the haymakers. And he got outboxed. By the time he started making adjustments and started winning rounds, he was too far behind on the cards. That's why he couldn't win it. If he would have made those adjustments in round number 2, round number 3, like, okay, now wait a minute, this guy's boxing me. And he would have made adjustments, he could have won that fight. Remember, towards the end, he had Kambosos on survival mode. Dropped him, hurt him, chasing him around, but it was too late. You made those adjustments after you have fallen way behind on the cards and you already needed a knockout. You need to have a coach that could be ready to adjust when it's necessary. Not get your ass whooped for 8-9 rounds and then make an adjustment. It's too late. Eye for eye. The middleweight champion that's now 7-0, looking good, Jay. What's your thoughts on them? And he trained with Canelo. What's his name? Who are we talking about, bro? I'm not sure who you're talking about. I do stuff. I also think Jermaine Ortiz beat Tio. Now, I didn't think he beat him. And I'm going to tell you why. Jermaine Ortiz, with his fight with Teofimo Lopez and with Lomachenko, he did the same thing. He was competitive, but if you look at the championship rounds, what he do? He didn't do shit in the championship rounds. All he did was move around. So, I saw a guy in Jermaine Ortiz that was doing good enough to be competitive, doing good enough to stay in it, doing good enough to not look bad. But did he really try to take it from the champion? Hell no. Hell no. I saw him losing both of those fights with Tio and Lomachenko. And I think this shows that I'm not biased. Jermaine Ortiz is a Dominican fighter. And I've seen a lot of Dominicans. He beat Tio. I don't make a decision and I don't make a prediction based on what fighter I like, what country you from. I don't give a damn about none of that. I'm looking at who's the best fighter and who I think won the fight. So Jermaine Ortiz is Dominican from my country, but I'm not going to say he beat Tio when I didn't see that. And I actually watched the fight again. And I'm like, yeah, he lost this fight. He lost. He didn't take it from the champion. When they got to them championship rounds, he didn't take it from Lomachenko. He didn't take it from Teofimo. Troy Bruce, we got big platforms like Shannon Sharp talking about he wouldn't pay to watch Shakur. The shit is sad to see, and casuals are trying to ruin the sport. The thing is that people who don't know shit about boxing, they run with the narrative that they hear. I remember when Cameron and Mace was talking about that, but they don't know shit about boxing. Recently, I think they gotten a little bit more into it and then talking about it, but they're just people who don't know shit about boxing. Shannon Sharp, what he know about boxing? You don't know shit about the sport. You know about football. John Parent, let's get to 60, my people. We close to 60 likes, and I appreciate everybody who hit that like button, y'all. Trump Bruce. Oh, I know he did what I know he did. He was talking about it on his pod on a slow sports night. Man, listen. Shannon Sharp needs to come out the closet so he could be happy. Shay. Man, come out the closet. You're going to be a happy man if you do that. You need to stop faking that you straight already. Real talk. But my peoples, listen. Before I finish this show, I want to give a shout out. Trell Bruce, John Parham, I Do Stuff, Cy, Eye for Eye, The Shit Will Sell, Tay John, Daniel Negron, Ricardo Maye, MS, Nature Boy, Five Lines Whoop, Trell Bruce, and everybody else who tuned in this morning, man. I hope that you guys enjoyed this episode of Boxing for Breakfast. I do this for the love of the sweet science, my people. We didn't get to the 60 like, but I still hope everybody who tuned in enjoyed the show this morning. This was a special edition, Boxing for Breakfast, the cooking show. Now you guys see why it's a cooking show. And on Monday, I'm gonna be looking for the people who said Shakur was gonna be running all night. I want to see some of you. I want to see what you got to say. Ricardo Maya, great show, my brother. I appreciate it, man. I do this for you guys. Swear to God, man. I do this because I love the sweet science. I know you guys love the sweet science. And this is what I do it for, man. This is it right here. So I appreciate everybody that tuned in. Another episode of Boxing for Breakfast. We had a great weekend of boxing. Monday, tomorrow, we're going to be talking about it. And just so that you guys see the love that I got for this sport, Boxing for Breakfast went down 7 days this week. No days off, my peoples. Because when you're doing what you love, you don't need a day off. Mondays through Fridays is Boxing for Breakfast, but I had to do it yesterday because it was Saturday. We had all these fights. I had to do it today so we could react to all these fights. And I'm back on tomorrow. It's Monday. Of course, we're going to be going at it. So when you do what you love, you could do it 7 days a week. I love this shit right here. My peoples, one love to everybody who tuned in, everybody who support Jake Smith. I really appreciate y'all. I promise you, we headed for number one. We headed for that number one spot. It's the inevitable. They can't stop us. They could slow us down. YouTube could shadow ban me here and there, but you can't stop the rain, my peoples. It's coming. MSJ Smith, are you calling the Sufa card tonight? Come on, bro. You know me. You know me. I'm going to show up tonight. Boxing. And one thing that I mentioned yesterday, by the way, before I get the hell out of here. Did you guys notice the outfits that the fighters was wearing? That's my knock on Zuffa Boxing, the uniforms. Now, tonight, we're going to be watching dudes wearing white shorts and black shorts. Not filling the uniforms of Zuffa Boxing. But Rayo Valenzuela versus Diego Torres, that's going to be a good fight. Rayo Valenzuela making his debut in Zuffa Boxing. And I'm going to tell you guys this right now, man. Rayo Valenzuela is a fighter who I've been supported, a fighter who I believe in, who I said he was going to become a world champion, and he did. So I think he's going to go on to do big things in Zuffa Boxing. You see what I'm saying, John Parham? The outfits was fire. Keyshawn jacket was fire. The entrances. Teofimo Lopez walking in with them people dancing and shit. Shakur Stevenson with the outfit too. Zuffa Boxing got to get with the program, my peoples. But I'm going to see you guys tonight. Yeah, Teo walkout was crazy. It was crazy. Probably the best walkout of yesterday was Teofimo Lopez, to be honest. Again, my peoples, Jay Smith, I'm signing off. But I'm going to see you guys tonight for Zuffa Boxing. One love to everybody who tuned in. One love to everybody who hit the like button. And one love to everybody who did. Even if you ghost watching, we got love for you. My peoples, Jay Smith, I'm signing off. I'm going to see y'all later, man.